Hey guys, guten Morgen aus Deutschland, good morning from Germany. Today is Saturday, the 6th of January. It's a German holiday. And since this is my first video in 2024, I mean, we've had live streams, but my first video in 2024, I would like to wish everyone a happy new year and all the best for 2024. May this year surpass any previous ones in positive changes, progress, health, and happiness. My first week at work in 2024 is behind me. The first day back at work, there were over 20 access badges in the mailbox from people that had had their last day. You guys probably remember I had been off since the 15th of December, and so there was a whole week before the company closed for the holidays where people had their last days, and so they dropped off their badges after the other receptionists left, and so that was kind of a slap in the face that so many more had left. The mail had been stacking up, and so I had about 30 centimeters of mail that's over a foot high, but it didn't take me no time to put that in the PO boxes behind me. There were not too many people on location. Most of them were still off. And the HR guy was there, though, the one that hired me and that I've been, talking to a lot, like on a daily basis, every time he's on location. And he asked me, so how's it going? And he's trying to be like superficially upbeat. And then I said, I'm just living the dream over here, but how are you doing? And he goes, you know me, I'm always doing great. And I said, no, really, how are you doing? You're the one that's initiating all of these changes, and so how are you feeling about that? And then, totally contrary to how he reacted last year, he said, look, these people are getting a lot of money. This company is throwing a lot of money at them to leave, and so I don't feel bad for them. And I said to him, what changed? I'm like in shock. Why are you giving a totally different answer than you did last year when you said it really, gets to you how you have to let people go that you've worked with for years? And he said, I just found a way to deal with it. And that kind of kept ringing in my head after he had left. Because, I don't know, somehow over the holidays he did find a way to just deal with it and just say to himself, so it's not that bad that all these people are gone because they really made out like bandits financially. And if that allows him to sleep at night, then that's fine with me. I also came to the realization that I could not make a difference at my current workplace. I mean, not when it comes to their tactics. Now throwing money at people and watching them leave, even though they had spent decades at that company. And so I'm pulling back too. I feel myself pulling back. The 2 weeks at home were helpful in that regard, that I'm thinking, yeah, so why should I be sad about anything when everybody else is like, yeah, F it, It's not my nature, but apparently that's what I need to force myself to do in order to deal with this. My sister and I were talking about it a lot in the car yesterday between running errands and going shopping. And I would have liked to believe in the 80s, like when I was a teenager, thinking that humanity would go in a different direction to where money is not the most important thing, but that we would kind of go back to the ways of, I don't know, spirituality, like looking out for each other. I really thought that that's the direction humanity was headed in. And even though I would still like to believe that that is the case, it seems like money still has too big of a significance. Like imagine all these companies that are selling our data where data breaches just keep happening, and yet they keep digitalizing everything. It's just a mystery to me. But I don't want to get too deep into negative things. But we were talking about it a lot, and it seems like not too much has changed except for in the wrong direction, and that is more digitalization and more control over people on this planet, rather than going back to trusting people. And I don't know, maybe it's because there are so many dishonest people on this planet, but I also heard about the retail theft has increased because people are poor, and it's a big mess, and I hope they're going to clean it up somehow. I mean, those that have been making the decisions over the last decades to increase prices while not increasing the wages and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I got a notification, I think it was on the 31st of December, that 3 Amazon packages had been delivered and signed for my neighbor, or one of our neighbors, while I was not at home on December the 30th. And the neighbor gave me one package and said that was it. So that's strange, things I cannot remember ever having happened before. But it's like when you put people in a situation where you take away their jobs during the pandemic, and then you only give them a little bit of unemployment benefits or social benefits, and that's the kind of thing that happens. Right before the end of the year, my sister and I were out running errands, and the heater in the car stopped working, and it was a nasty day. It was rain and very cold, and so we called the German version of AAA, and they came and fixed it, so that is good news. Entertainment-wise, I've been rewatching the Lord of the Rings movies, but not in one go. I can't, sit here this long and just watch something. But I did it over the course of, I think, a couple of weeks. And then followed by the 3 Hobbit movies. And a remark cracked me up so hard. It was in the last Hobbit movie, and if it wasn't such a long movie, I would go back and try to find that scene and show you that scene, but then I would get copyright struck anyway. When a dwarf said, he actually called the Elven King a pointy-eared princess. And I couldn't stop laughing about that, because that Elven King is one of the manliest men I've ever seen. And I'm going to show you pictures here. And it also helps to see how he moves his lips, like when he has a very deep voice. And that dwarf, saying that about it, that cracked me up, and I couldn't stop laughing. But it was great to dive into the world of hobbits and fantasy creatures again for a while. Sometimes you just have to allow yourself a break from reality. And since I don't drink alcohol or do drugs, it felt good. This week I also finally hung up the wall calendar. I had been postponing that. I don't know why. Yeah, I can tell you why. Because when it was delivered, that wall calendar, it was actually folded. It wasn't rolled. And so I was dreading having to hang it up. But, it's one of those large wall calendars that shows all 12 months. Actually, it's 13 months because it started in December already. But all 12 months. And each month has one column. And it's big. And I hung it up in my sister's and my hallway, and that's where we put important dates like birth dates and doctor's appointments, and it's easier to see, this many weeks until that happens, and stuff like that. So I finally got that done, and I hung it up using nails, like small nails, and I also hung like a little pencil case from it with pens that we can use to write on that calendar. So that feels good to see that hanging up. And I've also got out my 2024 book calendar that is smaller, that I put my working hours in, or projects that I need to do at home, because they wouldn't fit on the wall calendar and they have no place there anyway. And so it felt good to get, that started. Yesterday, my sister and me went shopping, and I got myself another dry eraser board. I have, if you can believe it, 3 hanging in front of me. They're also magnetic, and so I use them for magnetic purposes, to put up notes or bills that come due that are out of the ordinary, not rent and not electricity or a phone or whatever, but, out of the ordinary. Bills. For example, when a handyman came and fixed our faucet in the kitchen, and so we got a bill for that, and so I'm hanging that up so that I won't forget. And I also put it in my calendar. I try to be organized like that because I really don't like for things to keep coming up. Like, let's say a bill comes due and then they send a reminder. I don't like that kind of stuff, and so I pay bills when they come due or right away when I get them. So I didn't mean to make this video this long. I just wanted to check in with you guys, wish you a happy new year, and update you a little bit on what's been going on. So the first week of work in 2024 is over, and I feel myself distancing from that job more and more. And I've been typing up a lot of standards of procedure. I think that is what it stands for. SOP, standard operating procedure, and I'm typing them up for every activity at the reception because they're going to be used internationally for the other locations as well, especially for the North American and the Asian hub. And so, yeah, I've been doing that, and I've been keeping busy and at home too, organizing my surrounding or keeping it organized and catching up on my laundry. I hadn't done any of that, and it takes longer to do the laundry because it's been very humid and cold at the same time, and that's not a good way to dry clothes. But we don't have a dryer here, and so we dry our clothes on clothes racks, and so it takes longer, and so I'm a little bit behind, but not because I didn't wash clothes, but because I was running out of space to hang them, rack wise. And so, yeah, I'm gonna go. So it's Saturday morning. I'm gonna enjoy my weekend, and I will talk to you in my next one. Tschüssi. Bye.